Time's forgotten to speak. Your eyes looked from your mother's face. Wildflower seed in the ceiling. May the fall winds blow you home again. Roll away, dear. Roll away, dear. Roll away, dear. Roll away, dear.
Claudio Martini at Resistance Training. Today we're going to do a Claudio Martini on how I hear it. All right. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Bryston DAC-3, D to A converter 3 from Bryston. All right. So here's the story. About 2 months ago, I traded in my Bryston DAC-1 for a Bryston DAC-3. They had to build it, so it took a little bit, but it finally got here. Got it last week, hooked it up, and Lord and behold, it's an incredible, I was very, very impressed from the get-go on this piece. It took about 2 or 3 days to get the thing warmed up and running for a little bit. I'm going to forewarn you, give this thing about 30 to 40 hours to get settled in. At first, it can sound a little bit mechanical, or not mechanical, a little electronic, so to speak. It's hard to describe. It starts to smooth out within like a day or two, just constantly playing. And now I'm in it about a week now, and I'm telling you, it's just beautiful. It's just incredible. So in the intro of the video, you'll see the whole system. You'll see the DACs on the top. Just below the DAC is the Opal 103. That was part of the reason of getting this DAC, because this DAC, I ordered it with HDMI. And the reason I ordered it with HDMI is because you can use the HDMI from the DAC into the Opal, and I can put an SACD, super audio disc in the Opal, and with an HDMI hookup into the Bryston DAC-3, it will decode DSD. So the DAC chip that's in the Bryston will decode the SACD into DSD, and it's phenomenal. And it's using the AKM chip, much better. The DAC that's in the Bryston is a much better sounding DAC than what's in the Opal. The Opal's a great player, no doubt, but I just like the sound of the Bryston is just much better. And I use the Oppo. I've had it for a little while, and I use it for watching movies. It's still a great, awesome little, Blu-ray player. So, as far as the difference between the 1 and the 3, okay, the Bryston DAC 1 versus the DAC 3 is pretty substantial. Now, I've never had a DAC 2 down here, but just from the 1 to the 3, I didn't think I would actually hear that much of a difference, but I was blown away by how much difference I actually heard. It's just a much more refined DAC. It sounds much better. And I'm going to try to describe without getting overly technical or whatever on how this thing sounds. Now, I've had a few DACs down here. I've probably had 8 to 10 DACs down here that I've listened to and played around. People have brought them over. We sit around on a Friday, Saturday night, and we, have a couple of beers, and we switch them out, and we listen, and we, stereo bullshit talk. So this DAC, the first thing that it just stood out to me immediately, it's how dynamic and fast and punchy it is. It's just got that slam to it. Now, there's a DAC that did that same very thing, but it wasn't as musical as the Bryston. And that was the Theta Pro Basic Mark III. That DAC had that same kind of slam that this has, but it did not have this beautiful placement of instruments like the Bryston has. So it's got some of the characteristics of the Theta, but even more so when you get to the other spectrum of the music. This thing places the instruments in the space in your sound stage that are just beautiful. You'll hear a flute over here, some guitar strings over here. Everything is placed perfectly. And it's so nice because you don't have to turn the music up very loud. You can turn it up, and you're not, a lot of people will keep turning the music up and up to try to force that music. This you don't have to. You turn it up, and it's so beautiful, and you're so engulfed with this presentation that there's no need to turn it up. And that's very striking to me. It was very, very impressive. So I have it on here in the background, and after this video, I'm going to do some more listening. But I'm going to tell you, this DAC is, and the reason I'm making this video, there's not many people that have expressed their opinions on this DAC on the, social media out here. I mean, you'll read a lot of reviews, you'll read great reviews online, don't get me wrong. It's highly praised DAC. But I like to hear from just regular Joes like myself. I'm not a reviewer. I'm just some guy that listens to music. So I will say this, okay? This DAC is dynamic, it's fast, it's musical, very musical, and it's almost got this 3D type sense to it, if you can say that, I guess. Yeah, it's got this 3D presentation. And most of all, it's quiet, and it's just, overall, it's just music. And neutral, very neutral. A lot of DACs, your R2R DACs and a lot of your tube DACs, they try to color the sound and they say they sound like analog. You're not going to get that here. This thing's going to give what you put in. And that's the beauty of this thing. It's just there. If you put in a good piece of music, it's going to blow you out of your chair. That's just how Bryston is, And I'm running it. You'll see in the video, I'm running it with a 4BST Tice Power Block Signature Series. That's where all the equipment plugs in. It's a power conditioner. One of the best. People don't even mention those old Tice Power Blocks. They were good. That company was too bad they went out of business. And then just above it, I got the BP26 preamp, Bryston BP26. Then we have the Oppo, and then we have the Bryston DAC 3 on the top. Then and above we have the Kenwood in the intro there, we have the Kenwood KT8300. I bought that new, brand new in 1978. And then we have a JVC 1050 CD player. That was an awesome player. I also bought that new. So I'm doing a lot of things. I run the JVC with a digital, AudioQuest digital cable into the Bryston, and I also run the Opal with a HDMI cable into the Bryston, so I can, play around with different, see how each one sounds. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're in the market for a DAC and you like no nonsense, you want good quality sound, you want to do DSD, and if you want to do streaming, this is an awesome DAC. I don't do streaming, but if you're into streaming, you can get, they make this DAC in another model. I just got the basic DAC-3, but you can get it for streaming. It has streaming capabilities. I didn't want that because I don't do that, but if you're into that, this thing will, it's amazing. And then I want to give a shout out to the company itself, Bryston. Those guys are awesome over there. They will treat you good. They are A1 stellar, okay? And I had nothing but praise for all those guys. They helped me through the whole process. I'm a little bit impatient of a guy, and sometimes, hey, what's going on? Where is it? And blah, blah, blah. I want to give a shout out to Jim. Awesome, awesome guy. And then to Mike out there, who's helped me in the past on other Bryston equipment that I have here that I've sent to him, a little Bryston 3B. And then Adam, who talked to me when this thing arrived. He's a tech guy. These people are awesome. They'll treat you good. And the company Bryston is a stellar company, okay? So with that being said, I just want to say this. If you're into a DAC, this is the DAC to get. Okay, and it's not that, it's a little costly. I think, they're running retail $34.95 or something. So they're a little up there, but if you find a local dealer, and remember, if you have a local dealer that sells Bryston, go through them, because that's how the dealers, I always believe in going through your local dealers if you've got a local dealer in your town, because you support the community. So here, I will say this. If you're into getting a DAC, get this Bryston. It'll blow you away. And my wish for this year is I'm going to upgrade this Bryston 4B ST. I hope I can pull it off if finances allow me. I will be getting a 4B3. Because if it's anything like this DAC was, going from a 4B ST, they say the 4B cubed is a phenomenal amp. And that baby's retailing for $7,500. So we'll see if I can pull it off. It looks like I'm looking to get a part-time job here. So hopefully I can pull that off this year and get the Bryston 4B3, the Cube series. And boy, I'll tell you, that'll make this system a sweet system with that 4B. All right, so I'm going to let you go. That's all I got to say on Claudio Martini on how we hear it. A double bicep pose? Yes. I'm telling you, the workouts are coming along really good. I measured my arms. They're almost 16. All right. I just wanted to break away from the fitness stuff all the time and get out and do something a little bit different. And fill you in on what's going on with this audio stuff. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Claudio Martini, I'm out of here. Ciao, my friends.